Court battle, the Sexercise scandal.
That's Monday at 7, only on TV 8.
WROC-TV 8, serving the Rochester area for 40 years. From Rochester's first television station, this is News 8 Nightbeat.
$500 million worth of Kodak business is heading west. Good evening, I'm Jim Parsons. Virginia is on leave. Kodak officials in Los Angeles tonight have announced that the company is moving the headquarters of its motion picture and audiovisual products division from Rochester to Hollywood, California. A company official in LA says the move will enable Kodak to better understand the industry and react quickly to its needs. Industry analysts quoted by the Associated Press say the move shows the company is nervous about competition from overseas rivals and is pushing the division's executives to make more money. Last year, Kodak's movie and video business brought in $575 million. That's compared to the company's $17 billion of overall revenues last year. None of the Rochester Kodak spokesmen were available to comment on the story. East Rochester's Village Board tonight decided people who park in restricted areas on Walnut Street are creating enough of a safety problem that they deserve the hook. Brad Couples has our exclusive report.
Residents have been complaining that cars parked illegally on Walnut Street just off Washington are creating a dangerous situation for both motorists and pedestrians. The village had already created a no parking zone to keep cars away from the corner, but people were ignoring the signs. Now things will get tougher because the area is being designated a tow-away zone. The mayor says they'll apply the same solution to other trouble spots in the village.
We're going to do that throughout the village where we feel that there is a problem with safety. I'm not saying we're going to do it all over, but wherever the problem exists, where it is a safety problem.
The board, however, decided against acting on a request from the owner of a restaurant on Walnut Street, whose customers have been among those parking illegally, to make permanent his special permit to allow parking on the street in front of the restaurant. For residents who'd been complaining about the situation, tonight's decision was a good one, although most felt it didn't go far enough. They'd like the special permit rescinded.
I don't want to see someone hurt. I don't want to see a business ruined. I don't want to see cars hurt. I don't care about cars, okay? They can be replaced. People are my thing.
We don't want to put the restaurant out of business, but we would like to see something that ensures our safety, our well-being, and can also provide some type of productivity for his restaurant.
As soon as we can get signs up there that would indicate that this will be a tow-away zone, we'll start enforcing.
According to the mayor, the signs designating this as a tow-away zone should be posted in about a week. And as of August 1st, the village board has also authorized a hike in the towing fee from $25 to $35, making violations even more expensive. In East Rochester, Brad Couples, News 8 Nightbeat.
The Greece Republican Committee has a new representative on the county GOP Executive Committee. Town Party Vice Chairman Richard Gaborski was elected to attend the July and August meetings of the county panel tonight. That after County Chairman Dale Rath removed Greece Town Chairman Kathy Phelan from the Executive Committee earlier this summer. Phelan refused to resign from her town post, so Gaborski will fill in for the rest of the summer. Party leadership elections are to be held in September. Gaborski is expected to succeed Phelan, who is not running again. A move to outlaw flag burning is gaining local support. Congressman Bill Paxton has introduced a constitutional amendment to overturn the Supreme Court decision allowing flag burning as a freedom of expression. Paxton is urging Western New Yorkers to sign petitions to let the High Court and elected officials know how they feel about the ruling.
The Supreme Court has made an absolutely unfounded decision, an awful decision, a decision that must be overturned by the people of this country through their elected representatives.
Paxton plans to return to Washington tomorrow to rally support and urge the Congress to act on the amendment within the next several weeks. In the news around Nightbeat Rochester, the Bergen Town Board tonight accepted the county legislature's financial package in connection with the Riga landfill. More than 200 people filled the town hall tonight as the board voted 4-0 to accept a $150,000 payment from Monroe County in exchange for the town's promise not to sue over the soon-to-be-built landfill. Wind and lightning kept RG&E crews busy today, restoring power to thousands of customers. This afternoon, lightning struck an RG&E substation near the Can of Worms. Several traffic lights on Winton Road were out for about 45 minutes. Earlier in the day, strong winds split a tree in half over East Avenue in Brighton, taking down a 4,000-volt power line and blocking traffic for most of the afternoon.
That knocked about 200 people off the line. We got about 150 of them back on within an hour and a half, and the rest late in the afternoon. But windy day gave us this problems in scattered areas. This wasn't the only place we had problems.
In the Spencerport Shiloh area, that was another place Mike Power and the rest of the RG&E had problems. Wind caused a tree limb to short out power to 2,400 customers 8 times before crews cut it down. In all, there were 122 weather-related problems for RG&E crews. Some medical expertise from this area is heading to Nicaragua. A group of 14 Rochester medical specialists, joined by 2 Vermont residents, will leave tomorrow for Managua. They plan to visit several other cities as well, providing health materials to hospitals, schools, and child care centers. Group officials say they're hoping to learn about Nicaragua's specific medical needs so they can begin collecting and shipping appropriate supplies. Nicaragua is under a U.S. government embargo and receives no official aid from the U.S. government. Still ahead tonight on Nightbeat, the creator of 1,000 cartoon voices has died. Stay with us.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame, the monkey.
American motorists are getting a pleasant surprise. Gasoline prices are coming down. The Lundberg survey says the average price has dipped more than 1.5 cents per gallon since early June. Well, it was a little bit better tonight. Bob, what happened?
Well, we cleared up a little bit. That cool front passed us by, and we're starting to feel a lot better out here, at least in western New York. But the state police tells us, Jim, that in Schoharie and Tompkins County is where Ithaca is, some tornadoes touched down there this evening, damaging some homes. And New York City had a brush with some scary weather. A tornado moved overhead, at least just east of the George Washington Bridge, going over into New Jersey. A lot of damage in Worcester, Massachusetts. A lot of heavy weather in the eastern part of New York and southern New England. But we're looking better here. In fact, our skies are clear with a current temperature of 71 degrees. Our high today was 88. Relative humidity at the same number, 71%. Barometric pressure is rising. Winds coming in from the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Earlier today, of course, they were gusting very strongly, up to 40 miles per hour at times. Temperatures from around the area show that Watertown has dipped down into the 60s. Elsewhere, temperatures range from the low to upper 70s. Well, that cool front has passed us by, and we've got good news for the rest of the week. High pressure from Canada. It's going to spell terrific, pleasant, comfortable weather. A lot of sunshine for the next few days. Humidities will be low. In fact, our temperatures will drop down into the 70s, the very nice 70s by Thursday, and last right into Saturday. So the next few days, very, very nice. Looking at the satellite map, you can see where all the cloud cover is, stretching from the Gulf Coast, a lot of showers down there, on up the East Coast and into the Northeast where all those tornadoes, thunderstorms happening. Of course, we have the power line damage here in western New York, also plentiful around Albany and, as I mentioned, into southern New England. A lot of fair skies in the southern plains, scattered showers over the Rockies. Looking at tomorrow's national map, you can see, or highs, Rochester will be near the border of the 70s and 80s, in the 90s in the south, and there's a sliver there, a very fingernail-shaped thing over the southeast. Those are the 100s, and also in the 90s and 100s over portions of the southwest and the west. Looking at tomorrow's national map now, there's that funnel system over southern Pennsylvania and that high pressure building in behind, giving western New York more pleasant weather. Some thunder showers booming over Iowa, but much of the rest of the nation just looking downright summer-like, very hot. Our tops Nightbeat weather picture is by Heather Smink of Fairport. Give her a horse and she'll ride it. Thank you very much, Heather. The marine forecast for tomorrow, average wave heights 2 to 4 feet, winds out of the north 10 to 20 knots. Water temperature now is 71 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low in the mid-60s, winds coming in from the northwest. Tomorrow, we'll have sunny periods, just a few clouds hanging around, a high about 80 degrees, winds out of the northwest. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low near 55 degrees, and on Wednesday, sunny, a high around 80. So we can count our blessings. No tornadoes came our way, Jim.
Well, pretty close, though, with Ithaca.
Yeah, not far away.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. A couple of new coaches in the NBA. JC's next with sports. JC in now with the Red Wings having some action tonight, even though the Bigs didn't have any action today.
That's right. The Major Leagues, of course, in the All-Star break,
Right.
but a good crowd on hand at Silver Stadium tonight. Over 4,100 to see the boys in action. Rochester Red Wings moved into the All-Star break with a doubleheader tonight against the first-place Syracuse Chiefs. A sweep by the Wings would have left them only 4.5 games back, but the offense didn't show up for the opener. Fifth inning, Chiefs up 1-0 when Webster Garrison drops one into right field. That sends Sil Camposano home from second. Garrison gunned down going for 2, but Syracuse led it 2-0. Top of the 7th now, Camposano going deep to left field. Butch Davis gets on his horse, back to the wall, can't come up with it. Camposano lumbles all the way around to third with a triple. He comes home then on Francisco Cabrera's double down the line here. The Wings are shut out in Game 1. Jose Batista took the loss. Game 2 now, and the Red Wings mascot tried to fire up the troops. Another scoreless ball game into the 4th, but the Wings showing a few jitters in the field. Juan Bell boots the grounder at short. No harm, no foul, though. Bottom of the inning, Tim Doolin on second. Shane Turner delivers a base hit to center. Doolin rounds third, heads for home. Red Wings fans have seen a lot of these plays at the plate lately. And another collision. Doolin is out of there, but he was okay. The Red Wings were not. 4 runs in the top of the 7th gave the Chiefs a doubleheader sweep. And now Rochester is 8.5 games out of first place heading into the All-Star break. On the eve of this year's Major League All-Star game, some of the players took batting practice to get ready for the Midsummer Classic. Starting lineups and pitchers were announced today, with the National League replacing Mike Schmidt at third with Howard Johnson of the Mets. Eric Davis gets the nod in right instead of the injured Darryl Strawberry. And the Rangers' Ruben Sierra takes over for the injured Jose Canseco in the American League outfield. Starting pitchers will be Rick Russell of the Giants for the National League and Oakland's Dave Stewart going for the American League. Don't forget, you can see this year's All-Star game tomorrow night here on TV8, and that'll begin at 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, you can forget about Frank Robinson quitting as Orioles manager. Robinson's been upset with some of the umpiring calls that have gone against his team recently, including this one yesterday. John Shulock ruled Phil Bradley interfered there, and that gave the Brewers a double play as a result. After the game, Robinson was quoted as saying he would step down as manager because the umps have something against him. The Orioles have since released a statement saying there's nothing to those remarks, and Frank Robbie will be staying on the job for the foreseeable future. NBA news now. The New York Knicks named Stu Jackson as their new head coach today. And Jackson had been an assistant under Rick Pitino, who has since left the Knicks for the University of Kentucky. At 33, Jackson becomes the youngest head coach in the league, and some observers say he was hired so that GM Al Bianchi can actually have total control over the team. Well, Bianchi says he's not the type to butt in.
I didn't do it last year, and probably in some instances I probably should have. But that's not my style, because when I was a coach, I didn't want anybody looking over my shoulder. But Stu Jackson will do what Stu Jackson wants to do. If he wants to listen to me, fine. If he doesn't, it's his tail that's on the line.
The Chicago Bulls also look down the bench for their next head coach. Assistant Phil Jackson tabbed today to replace Doug Collins, who was fired last week. Jackson played 13 seasons in the NBA, and he's been an assistant in the Windy City for the past 2 years. Before that, he gained valuable head coaching experience in the CBA, and he says he's ready for the challenge.
The atmosphere, the ground, if it's fertile, is ready, and people are willing to give this team a chance. This team has proven that it has fans in this town that support it.
I don't know if you know how hard it is to go to the CBA and spend 5 years and pay your dues in the CBA and ride those buses all that time and learn your trade. And he has done a tremendous job of learning his trade and then coming to the NBA and continuing that.
And finally, another look at some U.S. Open highlights from Oak Hill. No, not actually. This is Par for the Cause, a yearly fundraiser for lifetime assistance, which helps out the developmentally disabled in our area. Over $4,000 raised, with 114 players participating, including yours truly, who still cannot make a putt. Some playing better than others, as you can see there. Certainly everybody had a lot of fun today, a lot of money raised. Very good cause out on Paul Road.
You didn't play well because of the windy conditions. That's what it was.
That's my excuse. That's what I'm going with right now, but next week it could be another excuse,
yeah,
Jim.
that's the ticket.
I'm running out, you know.
Coming up next, the last train to Clarksville arrives in Hollywood. Daydream believers take note. 21 years after their last hit song was on the charts, the Monkees today received their star on the Hollywood Hall of Fame. Davy Jones, Mickey Tollins, Peter Tork, and Michael Nesmith were all there today as their star was unveiled. The Monkees were created for NBC in 1966 as a television vehicle to tap the youth market. Good night.